Yes, it is visible now.
Okay, so shall I begin? I think you already started the recording.
Yes. Thank you everyone for joining the today's session on device management with Microsoft Intune. Today we have Usman Lodi with us today, who is a Microsoft certified MCT, and he was previous Pakistan region lead for MCT as well. And today he is going to be guiding us on the topic. So before we get started in the session, I wanted to share a few things about today's session. That the session is going to be recorded and will be available in our YouTube channel. Secondly, there is certificate of participation. So please do stay till the end and fill out the form to receive a certificate of participation. Also, if you like to participate in upcoming webinars and training that we do for free, please do join the community using the link in the chat box. That's all from my side, and stage is all for Usman. Over to you.
Thank you, Suraj. Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for joining. Let's start the session. So today we are going to discuss about something about the device management with Microsoft Intune. And today is 4th November, and my name is Usman Lodi. I'm a Microsoft certified trainer since 2013. And recently, Microsoft gave me the certificate of being an active 10 years MCT. They are sending me the swag of that and send certificate of that. Along with the Microsoft certified trainer, I'm a Microsoft certified trainer regional lead Pakistan as well. And I'm not Surag, you says that a previous, I'm a current Microsoft certified trainer regional lead for Pakistan, and I'm the part of that team which is giving the input to the Microsoft related to the MCT program. And we are responsible to guide our community. Like, it's not only Pakistan region. I officially deal Pakistan, but from any region, any MCT want to reach me, need any help, I'm guiding them. I Many MCTs reach me from the India, Philippines, and different regions, Malaysia, UK, different regions. They reach me, and I'm helping everyone. And along with the regional lead, I'm a Microsoft learning expert as well. So let's start the session. Our objective is our agenda is the device management with Microsoft Intune. So what we are going to discuss, what is Microsoft Intune, why Microsoft Intune, why device management, and why cloud-based management. What is Microsoft Intune? Before talking about the Microsoft Intune, we might familiar with the traditional management resources. Let's suppose we have to manage the devices all the time. We are almost familiar with the traditional resource. Like, we need to have a server in the company. In the server, every computer has to join the server, and then they can be the part of the centralized location, and then we can manage the devices. But if you see the time, like after 2020, COVID hits to the world, and a lot of changes come. Intune was there before as well. Before 2020, Intune was there, but it got famous in that time. Why? Because the problem was that in the time of COVID, company was looking that employees should work from home. But it's again, there is not possibility that if employees working from home, company want to manage their devices. So Intune was there, and they take the Intune, and now the Intune has is very famous. So it's what is Microsoft Intune? Microsoft Intune is a cloud-based endpoint management solution. It manages users access and simplifies app and device management across your devices, including mobile devices, desktop computers. Before, when we was using the traditional technologies, that was only for the computer devices. But later on, technology change. Nowadays, employees are not only working from the computer devices, not Windows devices. They are using the ISO devices, Mac devices, Android devices. So Microsoft can manage all the devices from the cloud. We don't require to install anything on site. It's all cloud-based management. Why Microsoft Intune? Before Microsoft Intune, there was a traditional structure. That server, we install the server in the company. In the server, we install the Active Directory, and for the device management, we was using the System Center Configuration Manager, and that was the on-premise structure. We need to install that. We have to maintain that. For each and everything, the administrator is responsible to manage. Installation, deployment, uptime, each and everything is the responsibility of the administrator, and it was headache for the administrator. If something happens to the SCCM, we have to troubleshoot. We have to troubleshoot the infrastructure. We have to troubleshoot the SCCM. Nowadays, Intune is here, and Microsoft Intune is a cloud-based. So what we can do, by using the Intune, we just need to log in into the Intune account on Endpoint Manager account, and then we can manage the devices. Microsoft Intune is a cloud-based service or tool that provide the mobile device management and mobile application management. It does not require on-premise infrastructure to operate. Meanings to say, we cannot manage the devices only from the Intune. We can also manage the applications. We can deploy applications through the Intune. We can manage the application through the Intune. Not only for the Windows devices, we can also manage the devices. We can also manage the devices and applications for mobile platforms as well, including Android and Apple, even Mac as well. So if you have any question, guys, please feel free to type into the chat. Let me move next. Why device management? When we are talking, when this question came into our mind, that why device management, we have to think as an administrator, as a company. For individual, like let's suppose you are working or you're living at home, you are sitting at home, you don't require any device management because this is an individual device. You own the device and you can manage the device. But when we are going into the companies, in the companies, device management is very important. Why? Because in the companies, we are not using the devices only on individual basis. We are using the company devices, and company want that if any employee is using a device, the device should work under the SOPs, under the policies of the company. So they need a device management solution. Intune is the device management solution, and company want to protect the data on the device. They want to manage the apps. Why company want to protect the data? Because for the company, the data is the asset of the company, and company did not compromise onto the data. So company want to protect the data, and then company want that only application are allowed the users can install. Other than these applications which are not allowed, users should not install these apps. So we can manage the apps, we can protect the data, and we can give the limited access to the user. On our personal computers, on our private computers, we can use the computers freely. But on the company computers, we cannot use the computers freely. Company give the limited access, and we can give the limited access to the users through the Intune. We can manage any kind of the access through the Intune. Implement company policy on the devices. If company want that, they want to implement some certain policies onto the devices, that is not possible that the administrator can take the device from individual, implement the policy. That is not possible. Company want that this policy should implement from a central location, and that is possible through the Microsoft Intune. Why cloud-based management? Manage devices over the internet. As I mentioned that in the traditional infrastructure, first we have to build the infrastructure. A big servers we have to install. We need to set up the big servers. We need to put a big investment onto the servers. And then once we have the hardware, we need to purchase the Windows Server license and different kind of license. And then we need to purchase the SCCM license. It's a big process. It requires the electricity. It requires a lot of things. It requires a lot of effort. Nowadays, things are getting changed and everything is going over the cloud, and we need that solution, the device management solution over the cloud as well. So Microsoft Intune is there, and we can manage our devices over the internet. No on-site infrastructure require SCCM, and we don't need VPN. Why VPN? There was a possibility when we was using the traditional infrastructure, we add the devices into the domain, and in case a user want to access the infrastructure outside of the organization, we need to set up the VPN. And it required a lot of resources as well, and there was a big issue because limited users can connect over the VPN. Nowadays, any user can connect over the VPN through the Intune. Device management options. Which device management options we have? We can enroll the devices or we can provisioning the devices. We can implement the policies and we can manage the policies through the Intune. We can manage the apps. We can get in security. We can set up remote actions. We can manage or we can control the Windows update management. These are the important factors. Sorry, these are the important factor for the any company. The company they want to enroll the devices into the particular technology. Like let's suppose in our case, they want to enroll the devices into the Intune. Once they want to enroll the devices into the Intune, it should be a smooth process. Then if they want to implement the policies, it should be very simplified. And then they can easily manage the apps. They can easily manage the securities. If they want to perform any remote action, they can easily perform. And biggest headache in every company is the Windows update. Windows update, once we install the update, sometimes it automatically restart the computer. Sometimes some updates which are not required, or some updates which are not tested, users install these updates, and sometimes it can create some trouble into the devices, and company have to suffer that. So we can manage all the aspects from the Microsoft Intune. Guys, if you have any question, again, please type in the chat. Surag, is there any question until now? Surag, can you hear me? Surag, can you hear me?
Yes, sorry about that. I just lost the signal for a bit.
No problem.
Um, so there was one question from Russell. Does the Microsoft Intune have its own cybersecurity?
Yes, they do have, because on the back end, it's all Azure. So definitely they have
Okay,
on their
so
structure.
one another from Ryan.
Yes, please.
So how can organization effectively leverage Microsoft Intune in hybrid IT environment where they can mix one on-premises and cloud-based resources to ensure seamless device management, security, and compliance across all infrastructure components? That's
Well,
a big question.
well, when we are implementing, when we are talking about the hybrid, first of all, there are two ways to set up the hybrid structure. One structure, most of the companies, some companies has the SCCM, some companies don't have the SCCM. In case we have the hybrid environment with the SCCM, we can say that we have a co-management, and we have the hybrid environment with the SCCM. Some companies just want to synchronize the on-site Active Directory with the Azure Active Directory. They just want to synchronize the users and the policies that they have implemented through the group policy management they want to implement. So what they are doing, first they just use the AD Connect, and with the help of AD Connect, they just migrate all the users onto the Intune, onto the Azure AD, and then they export one file from the group policy management and they import that file into the Intune, and then they can manage the setup. So it's a long process when we are talking about the hybrid. Hybrid is a big topic. It is possible, but it's a big topic.
If there is one more question, so what is the bandwidth required when managing devices from cloud or Intune?
Well, we require that at least 4 MB internet connection.
Okay, that's all the questions in the chat box
Yeah.
at the moment.
Minimum requirement is the 4 MB, but when we are working into the production environment, when we are working into the companies, most of the companies, if you are working from home, companies require that at least 10 MB connection, because they have to manage your device from the Intune, and along with the Intune, they want to manage your you need some other bandwidth as well. So minimum requirement is the 4 MB, but recommended is that if you are going to use the Intune and you are working through the Intune, a particular user who's using the Intune managed device should have at least 10 MB internet connection. Okay, so now quickly, because I have done this very quickly, so methods to enroll the device into the Intune. Before, in the traditional infrastructure, because I always give the example of the traditional infrastructure because I am working on that infrastructure from 2010. From 2010 to onwards, like till 2020, 10 years I work onto that infrastructure. We have to join the domain, and then we need to enroll the device into the domain. It was very easy process, but we have to set up the IP address, we have to set up a lot of things. But nowadays, it's totally changed because a user is sitting in Pakistan, so user is sitting India, Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, and working with the US-based company, European-based company, they can enroll the devices easily. So what are the methods to enroll the device into the Intune? User-driven enrollment through the Azure AD join, or in the bulk, automatic enrollment, autopilot recommended for large deployment. What is the difference between the user-driven enrollment and autopilot? User-driven, we give the ID and password. We definitely purchase a subscription. We purchase a license from the Microsoft about the Microsoft 365, in which we can have the Microsoft Intune license as well. So we need to create a username and password into the Microsoft 365 account, and we have to ask user to log in on your site. Definitely, I will perform that as well. User-driven enrollment, I will do that. In case we have large number of devices and we want that all the devices should enroll in one time, then we use the automatic enrollment, which is the autopilot. So guys, if you have any questions, Doug, if there is any question, please feel free to ask.
Yes, there is one question from Ryan. Can you provide guidance on troubleshooting common issues or challenges when using Intune?
Uh, Challenges, I can say that can you please specify the challenge, which challenge, if you can give me any examples so that I can quickly guide you. Any common challenge that you face, because when we are going to talk about the Intune, in the Intune, once we have set up the policy and don't need to we don't touch that, it will never affect. In case a user can, as per my experience, because I am working with the UK based or European based companies from long time, so once we have set up the Intune, there are some possibilities. The first possibility, in case we say give the version, OS version. users did not update the windows and user did not update the windows, and if they are on previous version, in that time they can have some issues in the windows update time. So it depends. So if you can specify that, then I can guide.
There is no comment from him yet, so let's keep it in the bucket for the moment. So there's one
Sure.
other question, which is what is there any license required for this, Intune?
Exactly. We require the license. Let me go to the license because that's end for now. So I definitely have to go to the directly. I have to go for the license. Let me go to the Google MS 365 Business Premium. In the Business Premium, we can have the Intune. If I go to the Business Basic, $6 per user per month, but no Intune. Business Standard, no Intune. No license for the Intune. No accessibility for the Intune. So we need at least business premium license for Microsoft 365. At least it don't have the license for the Windows. If we want to go for the Windows as well, then we need the E5 or E3 or E5. So it will include the Windows license, and you can read from here as well. So there are a lot of things will be available. Microsoft Intune is available. Now the question is, I'm sorry, I'm going to open the Teams. I want to interact with you people. Like, do you want to get this free for the testing purpose? Anyone? Just please type yes, no. So I just open the Teams to check the chat so I can guide you. Just two people respond. Okay. If you want to use and if you want to get the Microsoft 365 for the testing purpose and you want to test the Intune, for you there is a license, Microsoft 365 developer. Developer is free for the testing purpose. Do not use this for the production purpose. So Microsoft 365 developer subscription is absolutely free. What you can get Microsoft 365 E5 Instant Sandbox. All the application 25 license, you will get the 25 license, and all the apps and a lot of things you will get even with the Azure, Microsoft Azure Active Directory P1 license as well. So all the testing, all the learning you can perform from the Microsoft 365 developer subscription. Let me send you this in the link in the chat, so you can have this for future purpose. You just need the Microsoft Outlook or any active email. So now let's go for the demonstration, because I will open the Intune. Before opening the Intune, I'm also using the developer subscription as well. So to open the Intune, office.com or endpoint. If you want to directly go to the Microsoft Endpoint Manager, you can type this URL, or you can first go to the Microsoft 365 office.com. My email is usman at yk4lb.on. I log in. Now I'm in Microsoft 365 account. Let me open directly. If you want to open the Microsoft Intune directly, endpoint. So this is the interface of Microsoft Intune, intune.microsoft.com, or you can type the endpoint manager endpoint.microsoft.com. This is the interface of Microsoft Intune. First, here is a dashboard. Let me open the dashboard and show you the dashboard. So there are 6 devices are enrolled. Some are compliant, some are not, because I'm doing a lot of kind of testing. So sometimes I let the devices. So I have some devices enrolled already. So all services, let me click on all services and we can see all the services. We can see the app service, we can devices, endpoint security, groups, and a lot of services are there. And then we can set up some favorites, recent, and journal, and other. Then devices. When I click onto the devices, I can see the overview of the devices. I can see, if you can see that, we can categorize the devices into the Windows, ISO, Mac, Android, and Chrome OS already as well. Even we can manage the Linux as well. So whenever we will join any device into the Intune, it will go into the particular category. If I enroll any device into the Windows, it will go into the Windows category. Let me first click onto the all devices. Once I click onto the all devices, you can see all the devices here, which I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All the devices are non-compliant. Because I have removed these devices no more available. So I still have these devices to show that if a device which, when you enroll any device and which not fall under the policy of the Intune that you have created, it will fall as a non-compliant. These devices are already retired and removed already. So, but I keep these for the so that I can show my students and I can show to the and other people. So let me click on monitor. So right now I don't have anything. So let me go back and devices. Let me click on Windows. Again, I will get the Windows devices here. Question is that when we are going to perform this action, what we need to do. So what we have to do, go to the devices and we have to make sure we need to enable one option. Devices, Windows devices, and Windows enrollment. We have to click on Windows enrollment and automatic enrollment. Click on automatic enrollment. Make sure that there are 2 options and these options should be enabled. Please hold on, because yes, by default, when we will get the Microsoft Intune, it will be on none. Both will be on none. Mobile device management and mobile application management both will be on none, and we have to select all on those. After that, what we have to do, we have to set up the device enrollment. I am going to set up the device enrollment, and I'm just going to perform the device enrollment for the Windows device. I have Windows 10 already, so let me quickly go to the Windows, and this is self enrollment with the Azure AD. So I have one user into the Azure AD. Let me go to the Microsoft 365, go to the admin. In the admin, I will go to the users. I will show you, I have some users there. Users, active users. I have created this user and this user have the license. Let me show you to create a user. Add a user, username is S-U-R. Suraj, could you please spell your name because I forget your name spellings?
Surag.
S-U-R-E-G.
AG.
A-G. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, I am going to create an account for the Suraj. So when I will create an account, I will write down the password. So next, I can set up the location India. And here you can see that I have some license. 15 out of 25. 10 licenses are in use and 15 left. I will click on that if one license is assigned to the Surag. Once I click on license, which applications are assigned to the Surag, I will click on that and I will see that these applications. Let me see that Intune Plan 1. So it means that Surag has the Intune license as well. Along with the Intune, Surag will have the Teams license as well. Surag will have the email license as well, Exchange license as well. So that's how we can give the license. Until a user don't have the license, the user will not perform the particular action. So I have users there. Let me create that user. Next, next, finish. So here is the user, and I will join. I will enroll one device with the help of this username. So to enroll the device into the Intune, the process is very simple. By self enrollment, click Start, go to the settings, accounts, access work or school, connect, and join this device to Microsoft Intra. So I will give the IP ID. Sorry, I forgot the ID. Password. So device enrollment is started. Let me show you back and go to the devices, window devices, and there is no device right now. Some devices are enrolled, but no device is compliant right now. And this device will be compliant. Something wrong. I have another user. Let me set up the password because I'm teaching the classes on daily basis. So these are the common problems you can see that we can have on every day. So I have username Ali, and I'm going to going to enroll the device with the name of Ali. So it will take some time, 1 or 2 minutes, because it is authorizing from the Microsoft Intune. Yes. And join. Basically, Surag account was new, so it not properly syncs with the Microsoft 365 Intune. So it can, when we create a user, it can take almost 5 minutes to sync with all the applications. Yes, all set to go. Done. And Surag is enrolled, and we have to log in. Sorry, Ali is enrolled, and we have to log in from the Ali. Sign out from the Usman. And other user, write the email address of the user, Ali at yk4lb.on.com. PA555W.RD1234. So device enrollment almost completed. It just requires some authentication. We need to set up the authentication for the Ali. And whenever we enroll any device into the Intune, by default, it requires multi-factor authentication, and we have to set up the multi-factor authentication. Until we didn't set up the multi-factor authentication, Ali will not able to log into this device. This is a default security into the Intune. Whenever a user log in into the Intune, it's require the multi-factor authentication so that it can avoid the unauthorized access. So it will take few minutes, and then I will complete the process, and then I will set up one policy as well, and we will see how the policy affect to the device through the Intune. If we create any policy through the Intune, how it can affect into the device. So Surag, is there any question until now?
So there is a question that is there a encryption in Intune? Like an encryption file supported? Is it supported?
Well, we can set up the yes, encryption file is supported as well. Even we can set up we can make the default that we have BitLocker. We can make the BitLocker compulsory as well.
Another question, how can we enroll devices to Intune that are already joined on to on-prem ID?
Well, this is a complicated question. This is not recommended. If your device is already enrolled into the domain, then don't enroll the device into the Intune as well. So it will create some complex, it will create some issues like compatibility issues and a lot of issues. Recommended is that if your device is on work group and then enroll that device, because if your device in one time, let's suppose your device is enrolled with the two managements. If SCCM is there, then that's fine. You can manage, you can have a co-managed device. But if you are going to enroll a new device and you know that this device is most of the time is going to interact with the Intune, let's avoid that. So again, I would suggest that recommended is that your device should be on work group, not on domain. Definitely, it is possible the device have the internet. We just need to enter the ID and password, and device will be enrolled, and it can create some compatibility issue if you are not configured the hybrid environment, or if you did not configure the co-management.
Okay, there is another question. Are there any limitations for application uploads in Intune?
Limitations in the sense of I don't see any limitation. We can implement any kind of the application, but the limitation is only that we cannot configure the pirated applications. We cannot use the pirated applications.
Okay, there is another. Are there any enrollment process for Mac devices and iOS devices?
Well, there is a process is available. I will send some links after that, so once they can go through with this. Right now, I don't have these devices with me, so I cannot show that. But process is almost similar. So I am going to authorize that. Is there any question? Because I can have a quick enrollment as well along. I will give the answers as well. So I'm using the Microsoft Authenticator, and I just need to set up the authentication. Add worker school, scan QR code. So what will happen whenever this device will log in? It will show one message. It will pop up on your mobile phone, and you have to authorize this from your mobile phone. So I receive message. I have to enter 57 in my phone. So I have entered 57. I hope you can see. Yes, I give the authentication, and device enrollment is completed. Done. So I have to set up the pin 1029 1029. Okay. 6 pin 102901 102901. So device enrollment is completed. Let me verify the device first. Go to the File Explorer. Right click on this PC. Go to Properties. A traditional way that we are using to check the device, whether it is on workgroup or on domain. So we have to go into the accounts, and this is that we can see that it is enrolled into the Intune. Go to your info. You can see the complete info from here. Right now my Windows is not active, so I cannot perform more things. Back and access worker school, and it will pop up here as well, connected to by Ali at YK4, Usma Ali at YK4LB.onmicrosoft.com. So it is already enrolled. We have verify as well. And let's go to the Intune. And there was all the devices that was non-compliant, and one device will be green now. It is evaluating. Let me click on this device and show you the complete information of this device. So this is the name of this device. This user is using this device and enrolled by Ali, and complete information we can see from here. The hardware, each and everything we can see from the device. It has this operating system, so it will take some time because just now I have completed the enrollment, so that's why it will take some time. So quickly, I will do some more thing. I will set up one policy because we are running out of the time. So go to the Windows. In the Windows, I am going to create an compliance policies. Go to the compliance policies. There is no policy right now, so create policy. I will give the name to this policy setup. I will set up this for Windows 10 and later. Create. And I will set up the name default. I can give the description. It's like it's not mandatory to add the description. Next. So we can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 type of compliance policies. Custom compliance policy. If we want to implement any compliance policy, we have something set up for in the PowerShell. Simple click on that, require, and we have to upload the PowerShell script, so we can do that accordingly. So we don't have any custom policy right now, custom compliance right now. We can set up the device health as well. We can make sure that the device should have the BitLocker, secure boot, and code integrity. So we can set up as well. We can see the device property. Device property is very important, and most of the administrators are setting up the device properties. What is the meaning of device property? You can see the first option, which is the minimum OS version and maximum OS version. Let me go to my device and show you the version of my device. System. Let me quickly go to the system. About, sorry. Sorry, let me quickly right click properties. So this is the complete specification of my device. Windows 11 version is 21H2, and this is the build. Basically, we can specify our device according to the version and build number. Whenever we are getting a Windows will have a version and Windows will have a build number as well. Whenever we perform any update, we set up any update, it will sometimes if we add any feature update or cumulate update, so it will accordingly update the version number and build number. So we can specify that a device which is going to enroll, which is going to manage by the Intune, the device should be under that number. Let's suppose we don't want that users can enroll the older devices into the Intune. What we can do, we can set up the minimum OS version, that in case a user is using the operating system 1 years more than 1 years old, we can set up the build number or version number or anything as per the required, and then we can say that the device, the Windows which has no updated operating system, the device will not enroll into the Intune. And this is a very good feature into the Intune. It control a lot of security bugs. Most of the effects, most of the problems that we are having into the devices, into the company with the users are facing the issues. They are facing the issues just because of the OS version, because they are using the older operating system. With the help of that, whenever a device which is going to enroll with the older OS version, it will mark as a non-compliant, and you will ask to the user and you will take the action, and device will be up and running, up to date, and will be secure. Then device configuration manager compliance. So I don't require that as well. Quickly, I just want to set up from the system security. From the system security, we can set up the password, require a password to unlock mobile devices. We can make require as well, require, and we can block that simple password, not configure, we can block that. Or default password, we can set up the minimum password length or other things as well. So I will never configure that right now because it will take some time. I just want that a device, every device in the company should have the firewall on. Device should have the antivirus, and device should have the anti-spy and other things as well. I can set up these things, but I just want to configure for the quick check because we just have 10 minutes. So for the quick check, I will just select these three options. Next, action means that send email to users immediately. I can set up other options as well. Add device to retire in case device is not enroll device. We can set up the device retirement time as well. The device should retire after a certain time. So we can set up as well. I'm not going to set up this thing right now. I will remove. So I just want that send the email to the mark device non-compliant immediately and send email to the user immediately. So I just mark device non-compliant. I just select one. Next. Again, the thing is that we can set up some groups, we can create some groups. In the groups, we can add some devices, we can add users, and we can implement the policy onto the group. We can implement the policy on or add all the users. We can implement this policy on all users, or we can implement policy on all devices. I am going to set up this policy on all the devices. I select all the devices, select next, and this is the complete information of the device. Create. So it will take some time to configure to set up this policy. For the quick prevention, I will go to the devices and I will show you more options. The beauty of the Microsoft Intune, go to the Windows and see the device. It's still evaluating. Click onto the device and I will initiate the sync from here. What will happen? It will initiate the sync from the Intune and I will quickly go to the device as well. Go to the accounts, your info, accounts, access work or school. Click on that, info, and I can initiate the sync from here as well. Set up the sync here so that it can have a quick synchronization with the Intune. Surag, is there any question until now?
Yes, so there is a couple of questions. So what is the difference between Intune and VMware?
Intune and VMware. Very simple question. Intune is a device management tool. VMware, in the VMware, I am using the VMware for virtualization where I can install the multiple devices, multiple operating system. Right now, I'm working on this device to perform this action, all the action that I have performed to enrollment of the device. I need a different devices. To avoid to have multiple devices, I can have one software in my computer, and I have that with the name of VMware on which I have installed the multiple operating system. So I install the Windows operating system into the VMware and I'm performing all the things here. It is not going to affect my basic computer. You can see that this is my basic computer. It is not going to affect that. It will work like I am using a separate computer.
There's another question: is bringing your own device be capable of is it capable in Intune?
Bringing on your device, again, I will say that yes, it is possible, but definitely what you are going to do if you are going to enroll the device into the Intune, definitely it will work under the policies of the Intune, so you cannot perform, you can work independently onto the device.
So another question: so can we make changes in the policies, compliance, and how soon, if we can, how soon we can expect it to occur to the device?
Once I have implemented the policy, by default, if I just let the policy to the work, and by default time is the 8 hour to 24 hours. But most of the time we are not waiting that long. We always initiate the sync from both sides, from the Intune and from the device, and after sync, it can happen quickly. In some cases, it happens, the sync can initiate in 1 hour. Sometimes, in most of the cases, I can say that maximum time would be 8 hours to 24 hours. In between 8 hours to 24 hours, the sync initiate, and the policy that we have implemented from the Intune, it can implement onto the devices.
Okay, another question: is it possible to detect hardware changes such as RAM, hard disk, USD plug in Intune?
Well, yes, it is possible. When we see into the device, let's suppose I have shown you that the complete information in the Intune. I have enrolled the device into the Intune. When I go to the hardware, it detect. Yes, it can detect.
Okay, that's all the questions that we have in the chat box.
Okay, so we just need to wait for the completion of the sync. That's it. So I can show you the device as a compliant or non-compliant. So it can take 2 to 3 minutes, not more than this. Let me go to the Intune overview. I will go to the Windows devices, Windows, and this device marked as a compliant. Click onto the device, click on device compliance. It's still showing the error, but soon it will be done because the sync has been initiated. So it will be, you can see that if you have implement any compliance policy, you can see that it's if some is there is an error, you can see the error from here. So the compliance policy is not yet configured onto this device, so that's why it's showing this error. So soon it will be okay, because it's just need to be synced, nothing else.
There's a question, and the question is, can I use this for those users whom are working as a video editor? they need high configuration graphics and other hardware. Intune is able to manage those.
Yes, you can do that, but definitely if they are using the hardware device, hardwares, it's not going to affect them. What will be happen? You can just implement the policy. You can manage these things. That's not an issue. You can do that.
Okay, there is another question. So, what if during the transition or syncing of policies to the devices, the connection is, severed or lost? Shall it continue if, connection resumes, or you need to reboot and restart it?
Well, in case the internet connection get break, what you the best thing is that again you don't need to reboot the computer. If you reboot, definitely it will again. The thing is that it has to initiate the sync. Better is that all the time initiate the sync. Initiate the sync again one more time. That's the best option rather than to reboot.
Mhm. So another another question is it like VDI? I'm assuming it's a Intune itself. Is it similar to VDI?
VDI, I have no idea about that.
Mhm. Okay, another question. Does Intune has a patch deployment mechanism integrated with Windows Update for businesses? And
Yes, it
are
is.
there any third-party patch solutions for Intune?
Well, we can set up the business update as well. Yes, we can do that. As per my experience, yes, it is possible. But if you are using the third party, it is possible from the third party as well.
Okay, there is another question from Joe. Is there a different way of setting up the policy for clients who use Windows education version?
Well, this is a very complex education. The way is the same, but it should be compatible. I can say that I didn't experience onto the Windows education version, so that's why I will never say that what will happen. Most of the time, the devices that I use, that was the enterprise devices, not the education devices.
So another question from Ryan. Can we integrate both Intune and NAS Synology? I hope I'm pronouncing it properly.
NAS, sorry, could you please repeat the question?
NAS. Can we integrate both Intune and NAS Synology?
I have no idea about that. I'm sorry about that. I have no idea about that.
Okay. Uh, okay, so VDI, there was a question, is it similar to VDI? So the VDI stands for Virtual Desktop Infrastructure. So is it, similar to this VDI?
Virtual, I will say that I don't experience on that.
Okay, so Faiz is asking the which one is better, VMware, AirWatch, or Intune?
Sorry.
Which one of these three is the best? VMware, AirWatch, or Intune?
Well, I can say that VMware is something different technology, and Intune is the different technology. Let me say that when I'm saying that VMware, it's just provide the virtualization. It has no connection within the device management. We are using the multiple devices. We can have the multiple devices, but well, I have no experience about the VMware, so that's why I cannot say anything about the VMware. I'm just using the VMware for the device using, just for the testing purpose. I have no idea about that. Okay, Suraj. Is there anything else? Because is there any other question?
We are aboard our time. So I think we can wind up the question. If there is any other question, please to join the community and we can, take it after the session
Sure,
and back get back to them if there is anything that we can help after the session.
sure.
So feel free to join the community. I have shared the link to the community, and you guys can join there. Also, share the attendance form as well in the chat box. Again, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for Usman to joining with us today. I really appreciate the time that you have spent. I think we went over a lot of doubt, over a lot of things, and please to check out the link that Usman has shared in the chat box.
I'll send the link later on. Please
That's
spread
it for
these.
the today.
Please spread. Yes, I will send all the links to you, Suraj, so you can share in that community.
Sure, sure that works. Thank you everyone. Thank you, Usman. Have a great day.
Thank you very much, Suraj, for having me. Thank you, guys. Have a good day. Bye bye. Take care.